All right, we're live.
Hey, hey, what's up, License-a-thon? Hope everyone's doing good today. I am ThermalSquare. I'm going to be running a Bug's Life any percent on the N64, and I am joined by Spaghetti D, who was here earlier.
Hello. You might remember me from such classics like Toy Story 2 for the N64.
That's a good one. I like that one. Um, so yeah, this is a Bug's Life. Just a quick thing before I get started. There is a little pre-setup for this run, just a tiny thing. We have to set text speed to fast for one specific reason. And then I did already enter a level because there is a Rumble Pack uh, PowerPoint screen. So we're able to skip that when we enter the level. So other than that, the run's ready to go. So I guess I will count it down and then we can get started. So the run will start in 3, 2, 1, go.
Cool. So I guess we'll talk about the plot a little bit. If you guys have seen the movie, basically you have to save your ant colony by getting rid of the grasshoppers, right? The grasshoppers.
Yeah.
Getting rid of the grasshoppers that are terrorizing you guys. They sent out Flick to find some people that will help. Um, it kind of follows the story better than Toy Story 2, that's for sure. Um, but yeah, the game is pretty quick as far as the first level goes. You saw Thermal there. He basically skipped most of the stuff by just kind of jumping over a fence, and then the first couple levels, yeah, they kind of zoom past, so you kind of blink and miss it type of deal.
Yeah. Most of them are like, well, the first one I think is like 20 some seconds. This one is a little bit longer. One of the things we do is, like I'm doing right now, I'm kind of jumping off the walls. We do get a little bit of a speed boost when we hit the slopes, so it just helps us go a little bit faster. There are a few small skips. I did do one earlier over that big cliff that I jumped on. Skipped over having to hatch some seeds. Hatch? Grow?
Grow.
Grow. Hopefully gonna do another one here. Getting off that mushroom, so...
Nice.
Yeah. Like Spaghetti said, these first few levels are really quick. They're very straightforward. There's not much to them. The levels will get a little more complex as we progress, but yeah, for now,
Yeah,
yeah.
I was gonna say yeah, pretty straightforward like you were saying, but yeah, there are more tricks involved later on. Um, like I mentioned earlier, when I was doing Toy Story 2, for those of you that were here, this is made by the same developers. So if you notice, like a lot of like the menuing is kind of similar. The uh, the movement a little bit too, as far as um, as far as the way you kind of control. There's some tricks that carry over, which we'll get to in a certain level, but
Yeah.
this one uses it way more. It's a very useful skip or trick, I guess you can say.
Yeah. Uh, but yeah, we we just did the first boss level, Thumper. It's again not much to really talk about, except that his screams are the screams from hell. That's about it. You
Basically.
just hit him with super berries, and that's the level.
Also,
Um,
I just realized, does this game also do 2 levels and a boss?
yes, it does the 2 levels and a boss feature or
Yeah,
setup.
okay. I was like, yeah, same format. Okay.
So yeah, just like Toy Story 2, this game has 15 levels, 10 platforming levels, and then 5 boss levels every third level. So just one of those like crossover similarities between the games. Um,
The nice thing about this game is, though, you don't have to collect tokens or anything like that to progress. You just have to beat the level, just get to the end of the level.
yeah, point A to point B. There are some, again, I guess like we talked about earlier, that will get a little more complex. Starting with this one.
Yeah, this is the first, like, I would say, like, reset point
Oh yeah.
when you run the game.
Um, so There's 3 versions of this game. There's the N64 one, which I'm playing, the PlayStation, and the PC version. And the N64 version actually has a lot of exclusive tricks, glitches, and tech to them. This being the first one that Spaghetti kind of used in his run, crack jumps. We're gonna get ourselves stuck in these cracks and just like hold our jump momentum essentially, and it'll allow us to skip a lot of. Didn't quite work.
Well, almost.
We
Yeah,
go
this
again.
jump is similar. It's way more useful in this game because you use it a lot more in this level here.
Okay.
I think if you said it, you use it in different categories as well, like 100%, right?
Yeah, there are a few places. It's a little bit different in 100%, but it's still essentially the same thing where you kind of store your jump momentum and then you can jump a little bit higher. Wall jumping is a thing that we
Yeah,
will
the wall
exploit a
jump.
lot.
Yeah, wall jumps are super useful. A little easier to do too. I mean, they still can be a little finicky, but that one you use in more levels for sure.
Yeah. And on N64, that last wall jump is possible on all of them, but on PC and PlayStation, it's way less consistent. Second boss fight. A little bit more platforming in this level, but still the same concept as Thumper. Get Super Berry, defeat boss.
Yeah. I was gonna say, I don't know if you guys caught that, but he grabs that blue berry for each boss fight. It's the only way to damage them. Um, so he grabbed it during the Thumper fight, and then again right here with the bird, and that's pretty common. Otherwise, your regular berries, the red ones, right? They
Yep.
won't damage.
And Flick will yell out, "These berries don't work."
For some reason, the color ones just do more. The blue color just does more damage. I don't know the science behind that, but
Blueberries do more than raspberries, I guess.
all poisonous.
City entrance is the first level where we actually have to like start collecting things. There is a 10 grain door, a 20 grain door, and a 30 grain door. And we have to collect 20 grain, but the final destination is behind the 30 grain, and you might be wondering why we don't collect 30. Well, we'll get to that when we get to that point. So right now we're just kind of walking around grainlessly, collecting grain. It
Yeah, you can hear
was
Flick name it really. He mentions it a lot. The little song.
it was recently discovered that there is a way to do a 20 grain door skip, but it's very inconsistent and not viable for runs, so you will not be seeing it, unfortunately, but hopefully one day.
Yeah.
We got our last one. 20 grain door. Now we just need to get to the 30 grain door.
You'll be seeing him doing the skip here. He utilizes that wall jump that we were just talking about to get up to the box that lets him jump over. With a well-timed butt stomp, he should be able to just like clear the gate.
I need more grain.
I thought I was going to
Nice.
fail that for a second there. And then we just have to talk to Heimlich, Slim, or Francis. I prefer to run into Francis, or not Francis, Heimlich. I'll figure it out eventually because he is the biggest character there with the biggest hitbox.
Biggest boy.
Now we're on to the next level. Spaghetti, if you kind of want to explain what's happening in this level.
Yeah. This one probably has one of the most technical tricks in the game. Similar, kind of, to Toy Story 2, where there's a text storage feature. You have to talk to all of these characters that are on the top of the screen to be able to progress to the next level. If you butt stomp into a character, you'll store that text, like cutscene. And as long as you keep stomping, looks like we missed the first one there, but you saw that it didn't initiate until after he stopped stomping. So basically, once Flick stops moving, it'll start. The cutscene you can't really skip, so you kind of have to wait for them to stop talking, and then you can go to the next person. But it's not the biggest deal. You can do it with every other character. So even if you miss the first one, he can still stack the next three, and that way it'll just play one cutscene for the rest of them, and it saves a ton of time.
Thankfully, Manny
Manny
went
was
pretty
the
well.
hardest. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Manny's the hardest because he's such a skinny model. So like it's hard to like touch him with your butt stomp and get up in there.
Yeah, and also, as you could see, Gypsy the moth was flying around him. She also tends to get in the way. Just like, nope, I'm not gonna let you talk to my husband. He is far too skinny.
Don't touch my man with your butt.
Bug bar, not much to talk about. Except
You do grab a gold one instead of a blue though.
hopefully I can finish with getting the gold enemy token. That would be pretty neat. It is kind of
Yeah,
hard sometimes because Thud does throw super berries at you, like the ones you pick up, like that one. And it looks like I just grabbed. Oh no. Oh, there we go. Never mind. Spoke too soon.
So if you were to defeat the enemy with a gold berry, the game actually gives you an extra life. But we got touched by a blueberry, so it basically reverted your gold back into a blue. No life for you.
This next level, Clover Forest, actually got a huge route change. And it was about a month after I ran this game at License-a-thon last year. The route change saves about 10 to 15 seconds optimally. Normally we would do the level above ground, but we are actually going to do it underground.
Like a true ant.
Oh, I failed it. I'm going to try again.
Yeah, we gotta show it off.
That was really bad. Gypsy kind of got in the way.
Freaking Gypsy.
We go again.
Yeah, basically what he's gonna try to do here is interact with Manny, do the tech storage again by stomping into him, and then for some reason when you interact with the telescope that gives you a different POV, it lets you clip underground. Because what happens is the game sends you back to Manny, but it doesn't put you in the correct spot, so you end up clipping under the ground. It gives you infinite jumps, so Thermal's just spamming A here to stay still underground but not fall through the map. And if he just stays like conveniently underneath the ground, he can just maneuver through the whole level like this, and it skips having to grab a bunch of different berries so that you can grab the next bird pieces.
Yeah, and this isn't cheating. This is clearly just normal ant behavior.
Literally. Yeah, so here he kind of just climbs up on a hill to grab that bird piece that's being difficult. You got
A
it
little
there.
bit sketchy.
And then there's this giant stump you're supposed to shoot yourself up to, but we actually just pop ourselves out, because once you get that one, then you can jump back out. You don't need to be underground anymore.
So yeah, basically if you can see above that bug, there's like a little brown token. We would normally have to collect 4 of those to get a cannon plant. But with this new route, it just allows us to go all the way to the top. And again, optimally saves about 10 to 15 seconds. And with that last cutscene, if you hold down the A button, like in many of the old retro games, the text goes faster. So you can actually end the cutscene slightly faster than normal, which is another reason why we needed fast text speed on. That and for Manny earlier. So
Yeah, just a little free optimization.
Tree. So in Tree, we have to talk to the 5 blueberry scouts and then bump into Dot. The goal, just don't fall out of the tree.
Yeah. What's with Traveler's Tales and making hard to climb trees?
I don't know, dude. They love their tree levels. One cool thing that you may not notice because it's during the cutscene, is that when you have the camera on still camera, you can press the C buttons and actually turn your camera. Because normally it would end up like you'd be looking out away from the tree and you would have to run blindly back towards the tree. But because you can turn the camera, you can press it about 9 to 10 times and the camera will be facing from your back looking at the tree, so you don't have to worry about running blindly.
Yeah, basically you're just like what you mentioned. If you're turning it during the cutscene, even though you can't see right here, thermal's just turning around the camera, so that way when the cutscene ends, he's already facing the tree. Just a little bit quicker optimization. Pretty nice.
Yep. Yeah, there's not much more to talk about this level. Again, just don't fall out of the tree. That's the main goal. Watch out for acorns.
Use the web.
Remember, always use the World Wide Web. That's why we're here.
And then for this last one here, he just, like he mentioned earlier, he just has to bump into Dot. We don't actually have to like finish our conversation with her. As soon as like the text pops up with her, you finish the level. You can just exit the level, similar to Toy Story 2. Again, same game engine and stuff. As soon as you like get whatever the achievement is, you can just exit the level, and it'll still count as you completing it.
Yep. I have on many occasions paused too early and completely missed Dot before. And again, if you don't talk to Dot, you don't complete the mission. It's one of those annoying things where it's like, why didn't you just like have it where you could get to the bird and then just... Oh, I didn't kill this termite.
Just end the level there.
Yeah, just end the level. So yeah, another boss fight, Molt, everyone's favorite grasshopper. Again, just get Super Berry. A little more complicated this time because we actually have to grow it from a seed. But still the same concept.
And it doesn't help that like your own colony is throwing red berries at you to like screw you up, because if you end up touching one of those red berries that are being flung around, you'll revert back from a blue to a red berry, and then you have to grow the seed again.
Yep. And that's why we're actually standing underneath this little like umbrella leaf looking thing, because if you can tell they're like landing up on top of the little leaf thing so they don't actually hit us. Yeah. They're trying their best to help, but it's just not working. So we got RNG Hill Part 2. This is by far the worst level and has killed many a runs due to the stupid RNG at the very end of the level.
And sometimes right there too with the
tuck and roll.
First
yeah. Yeah, they can be like separated just enough where it's like, yeah, you kind of gotta try to maneuver yourself, but sometimes it just doesn't work.
But basically, Thermal's just growing his green seed here so that he can get the I don't know what it's called, the cannon.
Berry shooter.
Berry shooter, yeah. The berry shooter seed, and that berry shooter, he's gonna be able to basically shoot down.
Hopper.
Gosh, I can't remember his name. Hopper.
Yeah.
Shoot down Hopper here. The RNG part is this though. So basically, he's a little high up there, and we have to kind of like line it up to where the camera can adjust and hit him. I think once it hits him 3 times, then he'll start falling down and makes it a little easier.
Good RNG so far.
Yeah. See, as you can tell, you're kind of just like
one,
spraying and praying that it hits him.
2, 3, 4.
Yeah, every time he gets hit, he does drop a little more.
6,
but even then, you can see
7,
it'll still just randomly miss.
8. Number 9. The intended way is you need to get the fully upgraded berry shooter, and it shoots homing berries straight up, but it actually takes a lot of going around the whole level to do that, so either way it's kind of just faster to do that.
Yeah.
Now everyone's favorite level, Riverbed Flight.
This level is just really, really hard, especially on N64, because of like the draw distance in this game for the N64 version isn't very great. you're basically having to fly almost blind into a bunch of these enemies that are all over the place. They are in the same spot every time, so technically you could just
Ooh,
memorize
I
where
got
they're at. But
invincibility.
even
That's
then,
actually huge.
yeah, yeah. So sometimes too, there's random berries on the ground that will just drop invincibility, and then that way you can just spam your flight, just zoom past a bunch of them.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you have to take it slow almost and just kind of hope you
Oh,
don't
get
run
off the
into too
wall.
many. There's no checkpoints in this level, so if you die, you start at the very beginning of this level again, and you have to do the whole flight all over. Um, he also gets a little bit of speed when you touch the grain, so those are almost like little speed boosts, almost like a mushroom in Mario Kart. So that's what you always try to get those as well to go a little faster.
Yeah. And speaking of the grain, if you do end up dying and you don't restart the level, the grain doesn't reappear. So it's more worth it to probably just exit and then enter to try to get the grain set back
Yeah,
up.
yeah, or otherwise you're going even slower with no grain there to help you.
All right, and like we said, the run will be over in the blink of an eye because we are at the final level, Canyon Showdown. We're gonna face off with Hopper. It is a 3-phase fight. First one, I just kind of got to get this super berry, and then run over here to Hopper.
I will say that Traveler's Tales did do a lot better job at the final boss for this game. They made it an actual level instead of just, you know,
An empty
one little
plane.
room where you just run into them.
Yeah. I still believe that in Toy 2 there was supposed to be more going on in that level, which is why it's in, like, if you really look at that level, there's a lot that's empty in that level.
Yeah.
And it's just like,
Totally
what were they
rushed.
trying to go for here?
Uh,
Yeah, go ahead.
oh, sorry. I was just gonna pretty much explain what you're doing. So yeah, the first thing you did was grab that blueberry, like we mentioned. It's the only way to hurt the bosses. And then every time you damage Hopper here, he'll fly to a specific spot every time. So if you just remember where he's flying, you can just basically meet him there. And then keep hitting him. Once you hit him down to that section, you go over to this next final part. And yeah, the timer comes up pretty quick. So you're basically chasing him up this little hill. And if you guys remember the movie, that bird makes an appearance again and helps you finish off the job. It's pretty graphic for a kids movie, honestly.
Thankfully, they kind of pan away from that scene once the bird appears. It's like, I don't think they want to freak your kids out.
They show it a little bit in the game, though.
They do show it a little bit, that's true. So yeah, time will be coming up once Hopper gets down to 0 health. Just gotta keep throwing berries.
Timer's coming up.
Time.
3, 2. Oh, you're faster than me. It's okay. The stream got delayed, so they'll be able to catch it.
Cool.
So yeah, you can straight up see him just eating Hopper right there. That's
Yeah.
crazy.
It's done for.
We're waiting for chat to catch up. I think the stream just had issues, but
Yeah. It says the
catching up
timer was
there.
a bit late. I don't know. I didn't have a timer for myself, so I don't know what the official time was. But
It was probably like 22 something. Because I'm looking at it right now. Actually, did the timer stop when you were when the stream froze? I don't know.
I don't know. That does sound right because I did have to exit Clover Forest and enter back in. But either way, I guess, yeah, that's A Bug's Life. This is a great bop at the end once you finish a run. So yeah, I hope you guys definitely enjoyed it. Spaghetti, thanks for joining me for comms.
For sure. It was fun. Stick around for the rest of the runs.
Yeah. So yeah, if you want to follow me, I'm just ThermalSquare on Twitch. Again, if you want to follow Spaghetti D on Twitch. He's a
And
great
if you want to
runner.
run the game, there is a Discord as well.
There is a Discord. There's great people there that are willing to help out, and yeah, thank you License-a-thon for letting me do this run again this year. I really appreciate it. You guys are awesome and putting on a great marathon. And yeah, stick around for Toy Story 3. I know Capri pretty well, and he's gonna have a good run. So stick around.
See you guys. Bye.